Dr. Ted Naiman, animals, eggs, fish, nose to tail are the most nutrient-dense foods for Homo sapiens.
Well, okay, I've been researching ancestral diets and evolutionary diets and what humans are supposed to eat. And I'm absolutely convinced that nobody's eating enough protein and everybody's eating too much carbohydrate. So if you look at estimations of worldwide hunter-gatherer diets, everybody's eating 20 to 35% protein. But if you look at the average protein intake on the planet at the moment, it's down at around 14 or 15%. And then in the US over the past 50 or 60 years, we diluted our protein down to about 12.5%. We've somehow found the recipe for maximum fattening, which is getting at least half your calories from carbs and keeping protein fairly low at, around 10, 12%. So we basically throw weapons with incredible accuracy. We make tools, we make weapons, we throw them, we hunt down grazing quadrupeds, herbivores, and then we process them with tools and with fire. And as a result, we get this incredibly high nutrient density diet that supports our ginormous brains and our nutrient requirements without having to have a huge fermentation vat or whatever in our guts. So I think probably the ideal Homo sapien diet is basically meat, which is specifically processed and cooked. So we're definitely organisms that have evolved to eat cooked food because the nutrient extraction is higher. And then we eat opportunistically things like low sugar fruits and small plant underground storage organs like tubers. Today we have bred all our cultivated grocery store fruits to have like an obscene amount of sugar in it. So now a grocery store banana has 29 grams of sugar in it, and it's so high in sugar that you cannot feed it to a zoo primate, which will get dental disease or diabetes. The fact that we've cultivated all these things to maximize energy yield and sugar yield. And in the process of maximizing the energy yield, you dilute out the protein, the fiber, and the micronutrients like minerals. So we see protein and mineral dilution and all this energy to the point that it's more energy than people need.
So yeah, what are the more nutrient dense foods?
Well, they're basically animal products. I mean, your most nutrient-dense foods on Earth are anytime you're eating an entire animal nose to tail. So an egg is literally everything you need to make a chicken, and the nutritional density is insanely high. Anytime you're eating a whole organism, you're getting a ridiculously high nutrient density. That would be, shellfish like mussels and clams and oysters. That would be small fish that you would eat in their entirety. Anytime you're eating something nose to tail, you're basically eating literally everything you need to create and sustain life. So that's your very highest nutrient density of all. Obviously, our omega-6 to omega-3 ratio currently is pretty terrible. And so anytime you can increase your omega-3 intake, that's probably good. So yes, I do like sardines and oily fish and salmon. I think those are great foods to be eating.
Q&A. How to conveniently eat an animal nose to tail? Small fish, sardines, eggs, shellfish, all are nose to tail. Liver, organs of animals, bone broth, or desiccated organs as supplements. For example, ancestral supplements from New Zealand and heart and soil supplements from America and many others. In researching ancestral diets, Dr. Naiman says, I am convinced that nobody is eating enough protein and everybody is eating too much carbohydrate. Worldwide hunter-gatherers, everyone is eating 20 to 35% protein. But in the US, we are down to 12.5%. We have found the recipe for maximum fattening. Get half our calories from carbs and keep protein fairly low. Homo sapiens throw weapons with incredible accuracy. We hunt down grazing quadrupeds and herbivores. Then we process them with tools and fire. We get an incredible high nutrient-dense diet that supports our enormous brain. Nutrient-dense foods, basically meat, which is processed and cooked, because the nutrient extraction is higher. Then, opportunistically, Eat low-sugar fruit and small underground plants like tubers. Today we have bred our grocery store fruit to have an obscene amount of sugar. For example, a grocery store banana has 29 grams of sugar. It's so high in sugar that we cannot feed it to a zoo primate. It will get dental disease and diabetes. We have cultivated these to maximize energy and sugar and have diluted out the protein and fiber and micronutrients like minerals. It is more energy than people need. More nutrient-dense foods are an entire animal nose to tail. For example, an egg. Its nutrient density is insanely high. Others include shellfish like mussels, oysters, clams, and small fish nose to tail. More nutrient-dense foods. Our current omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is terrible. So eating sardines, oily fish, salmon is great.